The I'll give an update on the 93, the two-wheel drive V8 blue Toyota that I have. I had the truck for 3 months, and it had a stock 22RE, a little four-cylinder in it. I blew that up. Didn't really know what I was going to do with it, and then I had a buddy hit me up and asked if I wanted to throw a V8 in it. And came across it, looked at it, said sure, it looked like a clean motor. It's 1UZ out of a Lexus LS400. And that simple swap would have been really easy. Would have been a couple grand, and I could have it finished. But when I come to building something particular that I know I'm going to be dumping a lot of time and money into, I want to do it the right way. And that's why it's taken me so damn long to finish that truck. I've had it for a year now, maybe a little bit over a year, but I've had it for a while, and I love it. It's a blast to drive when it was driving. But it went from like a $3,000, $4,000 swap up to about a $16,000 swap, and it's not cheap. It's fun to do, but it's not fun to sit and price things out and look at how expensive this hobby really gets when you get into drifting and the parts that go with it, I should say. But I had the idea that I was going to do an NA motor, just naturally aspirated, but I came across a wild idea to do a twin turbo setup, and I talked to a couple people, and they say twin turbos are they're a healthier way to run a motor, I guess, if you're gonna run a turbo instead of a big single on a V8, which honestly I don't know enough about to say whether or not it is or isn't. But I came across one of my buddies has a load of Cummins turbos, and I went over to him. I said, "Hey man, let me get one of those," and he ended up giving me one of them. I do need to rebuild it. It's a HX35 whole set, and then I have another, which is off a 12 valve, but I have another turbo, which I believe is an HX40 off of a 24 valve. And so I have those. I want to do an upgraded trainee. I want to, instead of doing a W55, I want to do a R154 out of a Mark IV Supra. To go buy a brand new one of those with built internals is about $4,000 to have it shipped to my house. Doing a full titanium 2¼ inch exhaust work, full titanium heads. I want to have electronic opening dump valves. I want to do, there's going to be a Black Widow X-pipe in the middle. I have to extend my driveline. I have to move the trans mount around. I got a lot of work to do. I want to do a 4-link in the rear end because I don't want my axle to shake or wrap when I'm putting down power. And the goal for that truck, I would like to say it'd be about mid-4s. I mean, at max, that truck could really only handle about 600 without doing a lot of frame reinforcements because the frames aren't really meant to have V8 stuffed in them. But so far, all I've got on it is I have the motor put in. I do not have it wired yet. I've been deciding whether or not I want to stay stock harness and splice into it and try and rebuild the harness, I guess. Or if I want to go to like a Link or any of the ECU company, the standalone, and which it might be easier, but it is a whole lot of hell of expensive, like more expensive. But so far, it's got NRG bucket seats, full race seats. It's got the seat brackets for them. It's lowered. It's got bags in the rear. It's torsion dropped in the front. It's on 16 by 9s or 8.5s. I don't remember. Super low pro tire. It's on 5-inch drop blocks with the bags in the rear, so the rear is insanely tucked out. But as you can see in like some of my other videos or the pictures I have of that truck, the rear looks like the fitment is perfect, which it is, but with the front, I have the front raised up a little bit. That's why there's such a weird gap in between the fender and the tire. But I also still need to do headers. I need to add all the, fluids to the motor. The motor's sitting dry right now. But, yeah, the motor's bolted in. It's like mounted in to where it could be ran. But I do not have headers. I don't have the trans adapter. Because for stage 1 of that truck, I really can't go out and ball out and do everything I really want to do with the way I make money right now. It wouldn't be very smart to go drop 20 grand into a 90s Toyota pickup that is not going to be street legal by any means. And knowing myself, I shouldn't be driving that truck on the street. I like to have way too much fun. It's going to be an absolute track toy only, like maybe drive it to the grocery store and try not to do burnouts first through 5th gear because the truck weighs next to literally nothing. Most of the interior is pretty much gutted out. There's no carpet. There's no flooring. It's literally just like seats, steering wheel, the dash. And I don't know if I want to keep the stock dash. I might delete it. I might go to a full aluminum dash. But it's got a rear-mounted radiator. It's got a diesel radiator. It's a 3KZ out of like a diesel 4Runner or a diesel like Land Rover in like Australia or Canada. It's got a 3-core. It's got 1/4-inch aluminum angle, like 3-inch angle brackets that stick out at a 45 off of, I think it's 5/16 or 3/16 aluminum square like bed box that sits in the box into the bed that gets bolted, and then the 45 brackets hold the radiator up. It's got one single 16-inch electric fan. It's bolted on, but it's not wired up yet. I still need to wire that in. I want to do if I do a link, I'm going to do a link dash display. And I mean, all the link stuff said and done, I'll probably be about $4,000. And motor work, I'm probably close to about $1,500 left of what I need to do. Drivetrain wise, there's a lot of money that I still need to dump into it. 4-link, I need to box in the rear of the frame, do lead blocks in the rear to make it 50-50 front to rear. But yeah, it's going to go to a welded. I might do a spool in the rear, but I think I'm just going to stick with a welded. And it's stock 410 gearing. I know I could put like 4 5/6s in it or 488s and make that truck just absolutely fry tire, but I'm not really looking to fry tire yet because it doesn't run yet. But building a motorsports vehicle is not as quick and cheap as I intended it to be. My timeline when I first got that truck was very unrealistic, like super unrealistic. I was like, it'll take me, I think I said like 2 months or 3 months at the beginning of it. I was like, it'll take me like 2 or 3 months. It's probably going to take like $3,000. Absolute out of my mind was I wrong, like completely. I've had it a year. I've been doing this project for close to 6 months now, 7 months. And it's moving along, but it's not moving along as fast as I want it to be. So that is the update on that truck. I will upload pictures of the build sheet that I have for it right now that talks about the motor, the training work, all that kind of stuff. I'll also be doing a video on my 79. I picked up a first-gen 79 that's got half-ton Chevy axles under it, but I will be going to different axles. But that will be in the next video.